Hi, I'm Scott Brown on the game floor at E3 with game trailers. So Jumpgate Evolution is a massively multiplayer space combat game where you take place of the traditional games you've played like Wing Commander, X-Wing, Freelancer, that style of gameplay, but at an epic scale with thousands and thousands of players online at the same time. So basically, it's a standard MMO in almost every single way. You've got all the features you would expect: auction houses, crafting, grouping, missions, voice chat built into the game, all these things that you come to expect from MMOs. What makes us very different, though, is that it's a combat action game. So instead of a dice roll and my statistics versus your statistics telling us whether I hit or I miss, it's all based on player skill. So it's a true 3D space simulator, so you can kind of go full 360 degrees. You're going to be flying around, maneuvering around asteroids, you know, strafing behind buildings, all these kinds of things you're doing, very different than kind of the speed or the pace in which you play other MMOs. There's a variety of different weapons. You have lasers, you have machine guns, we have mortar rounds, which are sort of long-range, kind of AoE explosion type things. You also have missiles and torpedoes and nukes, and a variety of different kinds of ships are going to be flying as well, from like light fighters to heavy fighters to scout ships, a variety of different combat roles for the ships. Now we have massive capital ships in the game as well, but those are things that you fight with and against, or you defend or you escort, but not actually pilot. We want to keep you in the pilot seat, basically. The tricky part is when you make an action game, player skill comes into play, and so balancing how do you keep it so that someone who's an awesome player versus someone who doesn't really understand how to fly yet, how do you balance all of that? And that's actually probably the trickiest part of the game. My favorite part is the capture of space. That's where everybody kind of has to work together. So players have to, miners collect the materials, and the crafters build the station components, and then the haulers haul them out to space. Then you build these big battle stations out in space, and you actually capture space from other players. And that's when the most coordination from all the different players is going on, and it's kind of my favorite part of the game. It's that zero-G combat. You're not airplanes, you're actually in space. You can fly backwards, you can fire behind you, you can do some of these cool maneuvers. A lot of that's what we're trying to bring into our game. Specifically, we didn't want space to be empty and black and void, so we actually made every area very colorful, very exciting. We have areas like, we have this area where the sun is so hot it's actually burning all the asteroids, and so all the bases had to be built on the other side. And we have another base built into where they've blown up these ice shards everywhere, and it's built right in the middle of a big ice mine, basically, and so you've got ice shards flying all around you. So we really wanted it to be very cool and exciting to get from one area to another, and not just sort of more empty black space. Well, beyond sort of the PvP aspect, there is a whole mission system and a cool backstory that you'll play through as a player, we've actually done a lot of work to make sure that you can play with other people very well. And so another big difference between us and other online games is the fact that when we play together, where a normal MMO, we'd share the XP if we both killed something. In our game, we give you full XP, and even if you don't group up, if we're in an area killing similar mobs, we'll actually both get credit for our mission. So we really kind of want to go over the top that it's good to play with other people, and it is a multiplayer game, and so we want you in this world with other players. So Jumpgate Evolution is in testing right now, and the answer of when we're going to be releasing is as soon as we can, but it's all based on beta feedback as to how quickly we can progress to release.